Rick here from Musicians Repair and Sales again in downtown Indianapolis. Today I'd like to talk to you about trumpets. There's a lot of different types of trumpets, but they all kind of look the same. Let's look at a student grade King trumpet. This is our one of our student grade models. This one was made in Cleveland. This one is made of 3 different metals. You can see it's yellow brass, which is 70% copper and 30% zinc. It has nickel trim, which is very strong, and it has a rose brass mouthpipe, which is 90% copper and 10% zinc. This student horn has a regular tuning slide. As you can see, it pulls out both from the top and the bottom. It has a 3rd slide push rod for when we need to get those 1 and 3 notes in tune. We can push that out to make the instrument a little more flat. Trumpets play in B flat, so it is a transposing instrument. Many musical instruments play in B flat. That is our student grade trumpet. I'm going to talk to you about a little bit better trumpet now. This is one of our middle line trumpets. This is also a King, made in Cleveland. This one is silver plated. Silver plating a brass wind instrument will give it a brighter sound. Gold plating will give it even more of a bright sound, and nickel plating is the brightest sound. Silver plating is very popular. It protects the base metal better, so if we have perspiration in our hands, the finish will last longer on a silver plated instrument than just a brass lacquered instrument. As they say, lacquer is a temporary finish and is always to be sold as such. It holds up well, but we just want to keep that brass from tarnishing. That's why it's on there. This trumpet, again, is silver plated, and it has a 1st slide horseshoe, a 1st slide trigger, so we can bring those notes a little more flat if we need to, and also a 3rd slide push rod that we can push that out. Again, a standard tuning slide. And this is a middle line horn. This is a little larger bore horn. It's a 460, 462, so it's a dual bore horn, a little bit larger for a little bit bigger sound. And this is one of our step-up trumpets. The next trumpet I want to show you is the Bach Stradivarius trumpet. Bach Stradivariuses are made in Elkhart, Indiana. 72% of all the professional trumpets in the world are made in Elkhart, Indiana, and they're a Bach Stradivarius. They're a Model 180. This one is silver plated. This one has a reverse lead pipe. As you can see, this part stays into the horn. This way we don't get a step in the horn. At this point, we get it further down. A lot of people like the reverse lead pipe horns. This has a number 37 bell. Let's talk about bells. This one has a 1st slide horseshoe, 3rd slide push rod. Bach Stradivariuses do not have a water key on the 3rd slide. You just pull out the slide and empty it this way. This has a traditional 2-piece bell. It comes in this leather-bound case. A 2-piece bell works this way. This is a trumpet bell. What they do with this bell is they fold this over, cleat it together, and then it becomes a conical piece of tubing. They stamp out the bell flare and solder it to the instrument. If you look very closely in an instrument, often you will see the spot right inside the bell where this is one piece and the rest of it is this piece. Once they make that bell, they fill it full of water, they freeze it, they bend it, and then you get your shape of your trumpet. That is the most common way to make a bell. There are also 1-piece bells where there's just one seam in the bell all the way down the trumpet to the end. And then Getson is known for making, in Wisconsin, a spun bell, meaning there is no seam. It's spun out of a piece of tubing, and there's no seam all the way down it. Then they bend it over, put a piece of metal in the end of the rim. If you go to Elkhart, Indiana, you can watch them make the Bach Stradivarius trumpet. They come in different bore sizes. I showed you the one with the reverse lead pipe. They make lightweight models. Also, and that's the Stradivarius comes in this case. The Model 190 is the trumpet that they're making that is more like the trumpet that Vincent Bach actually made himself up until 1972, and that's their artisan model. They also make a Model 170 that's a little cheaper than the Stradivarius. We carry all 3 of these in stock, and with some different bells and some different lead pipes, but you can try them out and find out which one plays best for you. I have one other trumpet I wanted to show you. This is a used Yamaha. What I wanted to show you this one was because it does have a reverse lead pipe, But mainly I wanted to show you because it is a lacquered instrument. Not all professional instruments are silver plated. That runs through the trumpets. I want to tell you one more thing about it. The reason that this one has a rose brass mouthpipe is there's a problem with dezincatization in all brass winds. This is where there's a chemical reaction between the zinc and the saliva where it starts to get little red spots throughout the brass. Well, with this much copper and not much zinc, we don't have a problem with dezincatization in this student grade trumpet when the students may not keep them clean. And so therefore the companies have done different things to keep that dezincatization from happening. That tells us about trumpets. We have many models in stock, new ones, used ones, rentable horns. Come check them out, and a wide variety of mouthpieces too from brand and size.